All right, tonight I'm playing Brook City again. I'm using the, for cop Selena Gonzalez. Here's her backstory. Gonzalez came to us by unusual means 2 years ago. She was a sniper in the army, but went AWOL when she found out 2 of her siblings had died in an accident back home. When she got here, she discovered that they'd actually been victims of gang violence. Gonzalez sent her parents, who were immigrants, back to their country with her older brother for safety, and then executed her plan. She used her considerable reconnaissance skills to track the killers to their base of operations and inadvertently blew a major BCPD sting operation in the process. Gonzalez was arrested, but Mayor Verk, who'd read her military record, promised to pull strings to have the Army drop desertion charges if she agreed to join the BCPD. This is a crazy backstory. Gonzalez has been my most proficient marksman and point person ever since. Well, that makes sense. I was looking at some of the cards I pulled here on the bottom, and they seem like sniper kind of things. Find cover, strategic planning, perfect vantage. As you can see, she's on a roof. She can do progress from other locations. Like if she's on a location, she can put progress on a crime or just an encounter somewhere else at some other location. Anyway, she is fighting Mickey Scott. Well, let me do the case first. There's the case. There's been a kidnapping. This is a Jewel of the City. As if things in the city couldn't possibly get worse, some scumbag sent us a ransom note this morning, claiming they had Mayor Verk's daughter, Mina, demanding a ridiculous sum of money and her immediate resignation. Obviously, Verk's maternal instincts wanted her to comply. But we advised against giving in too quickly. We needed to talk to these guys. First, weigh them. See who we were dealing with. When the call finally came, it was untraceable, confirming these guys aren't amateurs. Good news is we got proof of life. We also managed to convince them we were playing ball, which bought us some time, but they said they'd call back soon. Now it's time to send everyone out to shake some trees. With enough luck, Mina will fall out before these guys run out of patience. So, in going over the case cards, it looks like it says City Hall's up here. And what are the rules in City Hall? Something like if you're in City Hall and you use a hunch, you can use that on the ransom note. Okay, yeah, here it is. So the ransom note, I guess, is at City Hall. Once during their turn, a cop in City Hall may discard up to 1 hunch to place them on this card. The activate power of this card is if there's at least 1 hunch on the card, discard 1 hunch to move 1 clue token from this card to the active lead. Limit 1 clue token on the active lead at a time. And there's 5. There are 5 clue tokens on that lead card. Then you have Jewel of the City. Case rules. Well, should I get to that right now? I should mention Mina's in the criminal play area here. And basically, when cops control all clue tokens, discard the active lead, then attach Mina to the active lead, to the new active lead. So basically, yeah, you want to get all those clue tokens off there and onto leads so that you can pick up the leads. So you go to City Hall, you discard a hunch, because you have a hunch of something that's going on, and that gives the active lead, whatever's on the board, that clue. So then you got to go down and find out what that clue is on that lead, and once you do that, you're 1/5 closer to finding Mina, because once you get all those clues in place, Mina is at the active lead that comes up next. So then you can go basically pick her up. She's going to have stress on her, potentially, though. She has this deal. When cops control all clue tokens, discard the active lead, then attach Mina to this new active lead. That's what I was talking about before. Their activate is roll 1 die for each clue on ransom note. For each critical, place 1 stress on this card. Then if there's 5 or more stress on this card, discard 5 stress from this card, and each cop must either discard a lead or suffer 1 stress. So stress get placed on the card. This didn't have that thing I was talking about. I guess that's here in the rules. Where is that? Basically, to take over Mina, I know you have to get rid of all the stress that's already on the card. Where is that, though? Oh, here we go. Yeah, it's on the case rules. While Mina is attached to a lead card, cops may not gain that lead, and it may not be discarded. Ignore all non-case card effects that would affect it. So when a cop would gain the active lead with a clue token on it, that cop also gains a clue token. So it also has an interact function here. It says if a cop is near the active lead while Mina is attached to it, that cop may discard any number of hunches to discard an equal number of stress from Mina. Then if Mina has no stress remaining on it, take control of it. If the cops control Mina, the cops win. So once you do that, that's how you win. So you do a lot up here in the city hall, where you're going to have to discard a hunch. You can do 1 each turn, which will add the clue down to the lead, which you want to grab the lead so that you can go back to city hall and do it all over again. But unfortunately, it's kind of a fiddly game, because also you're going to have to be dealing with the suspect, Mickey Scott. We suspect he has something to do with his kidnapping. Here's his story is here. Rock star, trendsetter, and bad boy extraordinaire. Scott's a troublemaker of the highest caliber, and Brook City has the scars to prove it. He's thrown furniture from hotel balconies for fun, loosed animals from the zoo to see what would happen, and vandalized record stores for selling bootlegs. He very, very nearly had martial law declared when he told fans at a concert to start a riot so he could feature news clips of it in his next music video. He's an unpredictable psychopath, which is why his tour stop here has me on edge. His latest single's been banned from the airwaves, and rumor has it he's told his Valkyries, that's what he calls his groupies, to flood the city with copies of it. We need to nip this in the bud before we end up with another Scott-centric riot on our hands. So, he seems more about anarchy. I'm kind of weird to think of him as kidnapping the mayor's daughter, but I guess he has, or his fans have. That's what we think. So, his deal is he has all these tapes, which are represented by the asset tokens. And there's one already on the board right up here, which they come onto the board in random locations. And this just happened to show up in City Hall, which is lucky for us since we need to get over there City Hall to get clues on Mina from the ransom note. So, I will be able to take care of that first tape and get it off the board, hopefully. If 4 influence tokens are on Mickey at any one time, I guess the cops lose. I believe that's the rule. If the cops ever have 4 influence on it, the cops lose. Yep. And let's see what happens. Got these. Mickey Scott says, while Mickey's on this card, he can only be encountered by a cop near a tape. That was my phone going off, not yours if you're listening. He can only be encountered by a cop near a tape. So sometimes he's here on the card. If he is, we can encounter him by moving near a tape. Bust. If Mickey's on this card, he loses 1 influence. Otherwise, each cop may either discard 1 tape from the board or discard 1 stress. So that's good, because the tapes, I believe it's like if we ever have to put a tape on the board, and those are leaked tapes, if we ever have to put a tape on the board, and there is no tape, like there's only 5 of them, I think. Yeah, there's only 5 of them. Then an influence gets placed on Mickey. And they go on it looks to me like they go on the board all the time. A crime is considered trendy when it has a number of influence tokens on it equal to the trend value. Trendy crimes cannot have influence placed on them. The activate for this operation card is if Mickey's on his suspect card, he plays a gig. Otherwise, place 1 tape in a random location. So you're going to put a tape on a random location. A gig is place Mickey in a random location. Then place a tape in a random location, unless the cops discard a lead. So basically, yeah, every time this comes up, you're going to put a tape in a location. Unless he's already on the card and plays a gig, and you discard a lead. Interesting thing going on here. Here's the leaked signal. It's leaked. The tapes are the leaked singles. Asset tokens are tapes. When a tape would be placed on the board, it is taken from this card. If a tape would be placed and there are none remaining on this card, Mickey gains an influence. And remember, if Mickey gets 4, game is over and he wins. A cop near a tape may discard 1 hunch during their turn to discard that tape from the board. When tapes are discarded, return them to this card. Activate. Place 1 influence on a crime. Is that just any crime? Place 1 influence on a crime. So I guess you get to choose what crime to put it on. Then each cop that has at least 1 trendy crime in their crime area must either place 1 tape in a random location or suffer a stress. So there's another way they're going to get put on the board. All right. Hold on, let me check this. What the hell? God. All right, so gonna be doing this. Sorry about that break there. I might have to hit a break here soon. The let's see, everything else. There's a lead here, and as I was saying, it was lucky that showed up at City Hall. My lead showed up right down here in the Brook City Police Department. So I guess I'm just going to probably look into heading up there and dealing with that. Coming back down there, collect a lead. But I'm going to need hunches. So I don't know if I can do a whole lot the first turn. First turn I can do... there's a shared knowledge tactic, which I'll try and play. And then you can... The prepared, let's see, exhaust. Gain 1 hunch. So you can exhaust it and get a hunch. Okay. Exhaust. Gain 1 hunch from this. Gain 1 hunch and then move any number of your hunches to this card. Any cop may discard 1 hunch from this card during an encounter to gain +1. Die. Prepared. Gain 1 hunch. I'm guessing if you have a hunch already on the card, then you can't use it for converting dice stuff. Exhaust. Gain one hunch and then move any number of your hunches to this card. Otherwise, you just always have all the hunches on this card. So, okay. And the prepared skill is gain one hunch. So I'm going to be probably playing that right away. Here's her basic skill, which is encountered with 2 dice. Then you may resolve the prepared effect on a tactic card you control. Which would be good for getting another hunch. Then I definitely have to encounter somebody. Oh, I can encounter, as long as I'm next to the tape, I can encounter Mickey Scott's. That is correct. All right. I think I got a plan, although I don't know if I can get to Mickey on the first turn. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2. Yeah, I could. I could use my police car and cross the street and get to that location in one turn, which is a little odd, considering just across the street there. You'd think I'd walk over there. Anyway, I have to take a quick break. I know I just started. Sorry about that. But I will be back very shortly. Hello, hello. All right, I'm back. Sorry about that. So, first round I should play here. Let's see. When do you unexhaust stuff? Cop turn side, refresh cards in cop play area. Then draw one criminal card. All right, so it's the first thing. All right, so I'm gonna dispatch. Starting off the game, there's the dispatch phase where you draw your first criminal card. Oops, I got that in the way here. What do we got here? Oh, I pulled the wrong card. That's a cop card. Here we go. Luckily, I didn't really look at it, so I don't know what's coming up. Boosting sales. It's a crime. Racketeering. Trend 3. Activate. You must either discard one hunch or place one influence on this card. Bust. Discard one tape from the board. Okay, that would go in my crime area. So, I guess I'll put that there. Put that kind of there, maybe. All right, so that would be at the Fountain Walk on D13. Wow, that's right up where I'm going. Huh, everything's around there. Should I try and bust the crime then, or bust Mickey? What would make most sense? If I can do both. 1, 2, 3. I don't think I can really easily reach him unless I move somehow. I can find cover. All right, so I won't. Guess I'll deal with the whole Mickey thing. So what can I do? This game has a weird way. Let me move this mic. This game has a weird way of dealing with this kind of thing. You have your move step, your card step, and your action step. All right, so my action step would be... Oh no, my card step is a play a card, so I can play a card. All right. So I'm going to play the tactic as my card step, put it in my play area. And again, that was my phone. And that gives me that. And I believe I can exhaust at any time during my turn. So I'm going to go ahead and exhaust this and gain a hunch. Because I'm going to need the hunch. So do that. Put them on there. And that was my card step. And I'll also enter the vehicle on my card step. Now, do I need to? 1, 2, 3. Well, if I started in here, if I started here on the police force, I could just go 1, 2, 3. But I didn't start it here because I didn't know where these were going to go. So I entered the car. Going to move up. I'm in the car. You know, I could move. I'm in the car. So I can go 1. Then I can exit. Exit the car and I can go 2, 3. So I can't actually bust the crime and not Mickey. Question is which of those I want to do. I'm not sure yet. That's my move step, though. That leaves only one step. Well, here, while I am in City Hall, am I in City Hall? Yes, I believe so. You know, it's kind of like there, halfway. I don't know what that is. That's, I guess, the some sort of stairway up into City Hall. But City Hall, it says right there, City Hall. So I'm assuming this whole space is probably in City Hall. So pretty sure it is. And while I'm in City Hall, I can... Should I do this right now or wait? I can... let's see. Do this whole clue thing. Once during their turn, a cop in City Hall may discard. So it's anytime during the turn. So I'm going to wait till the encounter to see how things play out. All right. So I got that to do. And then I have another thing I wanted to do with a hunch. Acetone, I think. Come near tape. How do you take a tape?
Building door would like to talk.
Hold on here. I'm going to have to take another break.
Door.
All right, I'm back, but I'm probably going to have to take a break here again. Where am I? Okay, so... Yeah, how do I get that thing again? How do I get rid of a tape? That's the big question. Cop near a tape may discard a hunch to discard that tape from the board. So I can discard that tape. All right, so that's why I need another hunch. Got it. Hello, hello, hello. All right, so here we are in the act phase. All right, I got the card. So I guess I'll do the encounter. Question is, do I want to encounter Mickey? Or do I want to get rid of this crime? When Mickey's on this card, he can only be encountered by a cop near a tape. After Mickey's encountered, move him to this card. If Mickey's on the card, he loses. Otherwise, cop may either discard a tape from the board or discard a stress. But I'm already can get rid of that. What if I get rid of her? Trend 3. Bust. Discard one tape from the board. While Mickey's on the card, while Mickey's on this. If able. Okay, so I'm gonna go for the crime, I think. Right now might be the best way. I'm not really sure. So let's see. We got this. Her encounter thing is cautious, which makes sense because she's all about sniping. But the encounter has a strong bust on sniping, but then so does Mickey Scott. He has a 2 as well. All right. Let's go for it. So let's roll. Ah, damn it. Dropped one of my dice. All right. All right, here we go. We get 2 successes. So what happens here? She's busted. Discard 1 tape from the board. There's only 1 tape there, so I will discard that. And she gets discarded. Okay. But wait a minute. What else happens? Anything? If I bust somebody, turn 3 activate. Bust her. I think that's pretty much it. See if there's any other rules around busting somebody. I don't think there is. All right, that's it. That is it. So I've done that. I did not get a hunch from that, unfortunately, but this skill is action. Countered with 2 dice, then you may resolve the prepared effect on a tactic card you control, and the prepared effect on this card is gain a hunch. So I gain another hunch. Now I'm going to discard one of these hunches. And what happens when I discard one of those hunches? Once during their turn, a cop in City Hall may discard up to 1 hunch to place them on this card. Okay, so that's what I'm doing right there. That is that. Is that everything I want to do? Yeah, that's pretty much it. So now we move on to the act phase. No, we've done the act phase. You may enter, exit a vehicle. Okay, so now I do the crime phase. Right? Activate each card in your crime area, left to right, by resolving that. Then the draw phase. Then the criminal turn. Okay, so now we would move on to the crime phase. There's no crimes in my crime area. That'd be that criminal that was there. Draw phase. Draw 1 card and flip this card. Okay. So we get this one. Sniper training. Encounter 2 dice. If you are in a location, you may encounter any target on the board that is not in the same location. Put that there. Then we've got the criminal turn, which is the group activates each card in the criminal play area from left to right by resolving its activate ability. All right, Ricky Scott doesn't have an activate ability. Right, okay, so this one, the operation card, if Mickey Scott is on his suspect card, he plays a gig. Otherwise, place 1 tape in a random location. So he plays a gig. Place Mickey in a random location, then place a tape in a random location, unless the cops discard a lead. And that was my phone going off. All right, here we go. Place Mickey in a random location. So he's going to go to E25. E25. All right.
Where am I? Gig. Then place a tape in a place Mickey in a random location, then place a tape in a random location. Unless the cops discard a lead. I don't have a lead, so I have to place a tape in a random location. All right. Now tape's going in a random location. It's going to go to B6. Oh, man. Having trouble here. Mickey went over here. This new tape is going to go to B6. Doing a lot of stuff here on the north side of the board, gotta say. Let's see, B6. Unless the cops discard a lead. All right, that's it. Activate the leaked signals. Place one influence on a crime. I can't do that. I don't have any crimes. Place one influence on a crime. Then each cop that has at least one trending crime in their crime area must either place a tape in a random location or suffer stress. Well, I don't have a crime, so I guess I just don't do that? I guess so. All right, then we have this one, Mina. Roll one die for each clue on ransom note. Oh, I took those off, but they should be over there. 1, 2. Unfortunately, yep, that's 5 because I haven't dealt with that yet. All right, here we go. This time we don't want exploding dice. All right, so I didn't get any exploding dice, crazily enough. Oh, I didn't have that on there. I just got 5 successes. For each critical, place a stress on this card. Then, if there is 5 or more stress on this card, discard. All right, so nothing else happens. All right, so then we have the case turn, which is the activation phase, then the draw phase, and the end phase. Okay. Does anything here activate? No. This is where we will be placing a clue. If there's at least one hunch on this card, discard the hunch. All right, I will. To move one clue token from this card to the active lead. Right there. All right, now we move on to the next part of case turn, which is the draw phase. Draw and resolve a case card. This is an event, hot on the trail. Each cop who controls one or more clue tokens, I have none, must either discard a hunch or suffer stress. Each cop who controls no clue tokens suffers a stress. Well, I suffer stress. They're all yelling at me because nothing's been done, but damn, the case just started. Case just started, man. Give me a break. Then the end phase. Each cop flips their turn card to its cop turn side. Okay, so that's the end of one whole turn. Unfortunately, I gotta take another quick break. Hopefully this will be done taking these breaks. But we shall see. There we go. All right, so I am now back. Hello. All right, I got to start the second turn here. Let's see. Okay, so I begin with this. I unexhaust the shared knowledge, and I pull a criminal card. I believe I pull a criminal card. Wait a minute. Is this right? Yeah. Is this? Oh, no, this is different. All right, and I got another crime going on. Setting trends in J7 at Pop's Pastries. Not sure what the actual crime is. It just says menace. What the hell kind of crime is that? Oh, and I busted this, so this would be out. This new one is at J7. J7 down here. Has a trend of 1. Activate as you must either suffer 1 stress or place an influence on a crime. Bust. Either discard 1 stress or draw a lead. All right, put that in the crime area there. So now this turn comes up. And do I have any tactics? No, there's no tactics to play. You know, my big ability there is to play the prepared effect on a tactic card. But I don't have that. I am still in City Hall, though. And I do have a hunch. So, wait, what did I do with that clue token? I screwed that up. There's at least one hunch to move 1 clue to the active lead. Oh, I did. I moved it to the card. Well, I can't do that again until I get the lead, actually. So that, okay, forget about that. I was thinking I would discard another hunch at City Hall, but there's no reason to. So there's a tape over there. Mickey's over there. And my guy, the new criminal, is over there. Let's see. Let's see the card action. Play that. I need to get down there to get that lead. So I can do this turn and get the car. Let's see. 1, 2. Yeah, I can. Okay. 1. Enter the car. 2. Get out. 3. So I'm next to the lead. So how does that work now? Believe I can take control of the lead as soon as I'm next to it for free. Lead cards represent a cop near the active lead token during their turn may take control of the active lead card. Other game effects may allow a cop to gain the active lead. Which also means cop takes control of the active. Okay. After taking control of the active lead card. All right, so I can do that for free. I am taking control of this lead, which means I'm taking control of this token.
What does this lead do for me? Gear up, ditch. During an encounter... Whoops. During an encounter, lower the target's aggressive resistance by 1. Not that particularly useful for me. I don't think I have a lot of aggressive encounters. I have sniper training, so that's pretty good. All right. I now pull another lead card. I get I-18. That's down there. Warrant for arrest. Ditch. Place IP progress. Oh, just place 1 progress on a suspect. So you go to the courthouse and you can get a warrant for arrest. That's what this is. One of the city's most famous landmarks, notable for its classical Roman design. It was designated a National Historic Landmark in '76, and anyone with an agenda has been trying to blow it up ever since. Who knows? Who knew people hated judges so much? As the active lead currently now, it does not have a clue on it. And I'm right near City Hall, and I have a hunch. So I could wait a minute. Why am I putting hunches on this card? I didn't do that. Yeah. Okay. I had my hunch there, but it shouldn't be there. I never put any hunches on this card yet because I didn't think I'd need it. I'm gonna put hunches on my cruiser card, even though that doesn't quite make sense. But it's a place to put it. And now, I'll put it on. All right, so what have I done here? I've only done a move, right? Yeah. I've only done a move. I'd love to get back up there, throw a new hunch on City Hall so I can get another clue token. And the lead is right over there. What have I got to move? I have a find cover ability. You may move 5. Then if you're in a location, you may place 1 progress on a target that is not in the same location. So I could play that. Let's see. Hey, wait a minute. I don't know if I didn't play the crime right, did I? Oh, I didn't play this crime correctly. I completely boned it. Hold on here. I completely boned this. Because you need that amount of progress to bust them, and I only got 2 successes. I was misreading that thing as like, oh, you need 2 successes. But no, you need 2 minus that. That's the resistance. Oh, I completely boned that up. That, it would be a D13. So that person's still there. And I only rolled a 2, which did me no good. I did not bust this person. But I would have discarded my hunch then to get rid of that tape. So I will lose that hunch. Let's see. Then the activate card came on. You must either discard 1 hunch or place 1 influence on this card. Damn. So there'd be an influence on the card. Then the crime. Cops win. Okay, here we go. Activate. Place 1 influence on a crime. Place 1 influence on a crime. Then each cop that has at least 1 trendy crime in their crime area, which I don't.
And I believe my case draw had something about this. Each cop who controls one or more clue tokens. Each cop. Okay. No, I don't. That was that. That was that. All right. So have I successfully retconned this? I mean, I should go back though. I was like this. Well, I'm screwing this up. I haven't played this a whole lot. All right, I was there. The lead was over here. I don't know if I should move that yet because I might just go and pretend to grab it and then leave that there. That makes the most sense, I think. Now I could attack. I could go for this crime again before I move. Encounter, strategic planning, sniper training. That's a good one then. Encounter 2 dice. If you are in a location, you may encounter any target on the board that is not in the same location. That's the one I would want. Because her aggressive resistance is 0. But she is can't do that. If you are in a location, you may either place 1 progress on a crime, counter adding plus in the same location. During an encounter, lower the target's aggressive resistance by 1. All right, maybe I'll try that. I'll use my lead. So I use my aggressive action here. And I'll use my lead. Ditch my lead. That says during an encounter, lower the target's aggressive resistance by 1. So I will ditch that, and I will use that. Her aggressive resistance would now be 1. And I roll 2 dice. So I need a good roll here. All right, good. I got an exploding. Ooh, another exploding. This is doing well here. Oh my god, I got another exploding. I'm looking out on this one. And a success. So I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 successes on the 2 dice. That is crazy. And I did not expect to be able to bust her on this one attack, but I think I did because her resistance is 1 because it's lowered by 1. So that gives 4 to bust her. So I busted this. Discard 1 tape from the board. Well, I already discarded that tape. Am I caught up? Yeah, tape would have been put out. This tape would have been put out already from the last turn, so I can't take that. So, okay, bust. Discard 1 tape from the board. I'm doing that. That is a criminal card that I just busted. Okay. That was successful. Surprisingly successful. Now, I could attempt to take out this other crime with sniper training. Oh, also I get a hunch. Then you may resolve the prepared effect on a tactic card, because I did this one, that you control. The only prepared tactic card gives me a hunch, so gain a hunch. Take that. Use that. And I still haven't gotten that lead yet, so I can't discard that yet. But I'm going to try and do that this turn. Let's see. I could also use the sniper training to nail either them, but that won't allow me to get rid of a tape. So maybe I'll do something else. Find cover. You may move 5, then if you're in a location, you may place 1 progress on a target that is not in the same location. Maybe I'll do that. Move 5. If you are in a location, you may either place 1 progress or place 3 progress on 1 crime. Could place 3 progress on the setting trends. So I'll either do that or find cover. You may move 5. I'll take perfect vantage. This one, I'll play this. If you are in a location, you may either place 1 progress on each crime or place 3 progress on 1 crime. So I'm going to place 3 progress on a crime. You know, this crime that I have in place requires 5 progress. So I should be able to bust it now if necessary. With an actual encounter. All right, so that was my card action. So I did card step, did my action step. Now I can do my move. So that is 1. Actually, it's not even 1. It's I enter the car, and I'm trying to get over here. So where was I? I was here. I could just walk. 1, 1, 2. That's all I need to be. Or no, it was down here, I think. Was it down here? Oh, I'm not even on the board. I'm here. I believe well, shit. I think it was over here. I think the lead was over here. 1, 2, 3. Or 1, enter. Yeah, I'll enter just so I'm next to my car. Go here. Enter 1 move and exit. Oh, wait a minute. I can't enter and... Well, yeah, I can. Yeah, I can, because I can enter at the end of the previous step. I'm going to move exit, but I can't re-enter the car on this one. But now this lead token that would have been here, because I screwed up and took it too early, I'm taking it now. And unfortunately, I realized I used that lead, and I shouldn't have, because I didn't necessarily have it. I kind of screwed that up. Well, I got 5 successes. Oh, God. Oh, this retconning. Not retconning, but fixing mistakes. I got... Let me look at the card again. This is the one I busted. All right, I needed 4 successes. I got 5 successes. I got 5 successes. There was a resistance of 1. So in actuality... Wait a minute, did I use that? What was that I used? During an encounter, lower the target's aggressive resistance by 1. So, okay, yeah. So I did use that. So it actually would have been 2, so it would have been 5 minus 2 or 3. Well, how about this? How about this? I'm retconning everything here because I'm just learning this game. I'm sorry about this. If you are in a location, you may either place 1 progress on each crime or place 3 on 1 crime. All right, so I guess I would just play that. and add that one progress that would bust that. Which kind of sucks because now there's only one progress on there, but it's what I did, and I'm trying to fix stuff that I screwed up on. I might have done it a little bit differently had I not screwed everything up. In any case, now I take control of this lead. All right, so now I take control of this lead. And that was my move step. So I've done a card step, done a card action. All right, I'm done. And I think I fixed all the screw-ups I did. So now I'm on to the dispatch phase. Oh, wait a minute. I didn't do my exhaust thing here, where I can gain a hunch. Gain a hunch, and then move any number of your hunches. And then move any number of your hunches to this card. Well, I'm definitely taking a hunch. Maybe I should do that. I need hunches for that. No, I'm gonna move one to it. And I've done that. All right, so now we're moving on. Oh, this is busted though. This is gone. Now we're moving on. Correct? Correct. To the crime phase. Activate each card in your crime area, left to right, by resolving its activated. Okay. Now we're moving on. Its activators, you must either suffer a stress or place an influence on a crime. If I placed an influence on this crime, it would now be trending. Which, what happens at that point? You have a crime is going to be, I don't know. A cop near a tape. No, place an influence on a crime. Must either place one tape in a random location or suffer a stress. Oh. All right, well. Where is this crime? This crime's right there. All right, you know, I'm going to put an influence on it. I don't know if that's a good idea because it's now trending. I think I'm just going to put down an extra tape. Well, I'm going to be getting rid of it. Maybe I should put a stress on it. Or take a stress. Because this will now cause 2 tapes, I think, to go out. I forget it. I'm going to take a stress. All right, that is that. And that's the end of the crime phase. Draw a card. Okay. We've got hopefully a tactic, but yes. During each of your cautious encounters, gain a die. Prepare, draw 1 card. Oh, that's good. Definitely want to get that out there. Crime phase. Draw phase. Okay, done with that. Moving on to the criminal turn. Which is basically just activate everything. What is that going to be? Jeez, look at this here. Well, Mickey's on this card. He can only... All right. The suspect card does not have an activate. If Mickey is on his suspect card, he plays a gig. Otherwise, place 1 tape in a random location. Here we go. Chartered bus. Oh, wait a minute. That doesn't matter. Just goes to R2. Ooh, that's way down there. That's way down there. All right, that is way down there. Okay. Now we have this one, leaked signals. Singles. Place one influence on a crime. Shit. Oh, that's now trendy. Place one influence on a crime. Then each cop that has at least one trendy crime in their crime area, which is me, must either place one tape in a random location or suffer a stress. Fuck. I thought I would avoid that. I should have just let the thing go on it on the first one. Because now I ended up with the same thing. All right. I'm going to take a card here. Goes to A23. Way up there. Went way up there. All right, so I am. Where am I? Then each cop that has at least one trendy crime in their crime area must place one thing. Did that. Now we got Mina. Activate. Roll one die for each clue on ransom note. I believe that would be 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Correct. Ooh, got a critical there, which is what I'm trying to avoid. For each critical, place a stress on this card. Then, if there's 5 or more, discard the 5 stress, and each cop must either discard a lead or suffer a stress. So that just Mina just got a stress there. So that was that for the criminal turn, case turn. All right, we activate all this stuff. All right, that has nothing. What's going on here? All right, activate. If there's at least one hunch on this card, there is none. That's what I want. I want to get a hunch on that card. That's what I hope to do next turn here. Draw phase. Draw and resolve a case card. Got an event. New leads and dead ends. Each cop who controls a lead. All right, I have a lead. Gains a hunch. Okay, I'll take that. Each cop who does not control a lead must either discard a hunch or suffer a stress. Okay, I did the draw phase, end phase. All right, that's it. Start a new turn. This unexhausts. Definitely want to try to get up here. Get a new clue going on this lead here. I feel like I should have another. Oh yeah, I do have. I have tape here and a tape up there. Either discard one stress or draw a lead. All right, I take out this crime, which happens here. It's either if I bust it, it's either discard a stress or draw a lead. During an encounter, no, I want that lead better. So, what happens if I encounter Mickey Scott? Well, Mickey's on this card. Okay, if Mickey's on this card, he loses 1 influence if I bust him. Otherwise, each cop may either discard 1 tape from the board or discard 1 stress.
So I could discard the tape from the board if I nailed Mickey. Thinking I should bust this crime because it's already trendy. So what can I do? I got this practiced patience that I should play. All right, I want to play this, make that active so I can use its prepared action if necessary. And also, it's during each of your cautious encounters, you gain a die. So that's definitely a good thing to do. But it also means I can't shoot from another location on this turn. Action. I can do a cautious encounter, then you may... I gotta be next to somebody to do the always prepared action, my normal one. I don't think I'm gonna make it next to anybody. Especially if I try to do the hunch thing, so I'm gonna do that. Played that card, got that in there. I am going to... I exhausted this to gain my hunch for the turn. All right, so that's not part of any step yet. I did this practiced patience. That was my card action. So I guess I'll do my move action. And it'll still allow me to do the card step where I can play a card or draw a card. No, I played a card, I know. So I can do a card action. During each... There's no really card actions. This tactic just has an exhaust, which you can just do at any time. My only card action is that one, really. All right. So I can do an interact. I can get another hunch. I can do a second move. Maybe I'll do that. Okay. I'll do my move ability. Or actually, this will be the end of that last card step. I'll enter the vehicle. Or the play thing. Do I need to? Yeah, maybe I should. Enter the vehicle. 1, 2. Is this the way I want to go? Hold on. Do I want to go there, or do I want to go up here? I guess I want to go to the crime. Oops, should go here. So I was here, jumped in the car. 1, 2. And then at the end of this move action, jumping out of there. And I'm in City Hall. No, I'm not. I'm in B&B. Oh, that is not City Hall. I screwed that up. Go back. That is not City Hall. City Hall is only this. This is actually Brook City BMV. What is that? Shouldn't that be the DMV? BMV. I don't know what a BMV is. So forget that I did that. So I'll enter the car from the end of my card action phase. Step. I don't think I can do that, can I? Just move like that? No, I can't. Forget about that. I think that's legal. 1, 2, 3. Well, I could do this. Enter the car. 1. Then exit on my move phase. That'll at least get me a little closer to getting over there. And I will discard a hunch.
because I'm in City Hall, and that allows me to put a clue on the lead token. And now I can do another move, but there's no really moves I want to make. All right, so I'm done. I am done with that. The act phase is done. All right, so now I have the crime phase. So I just have this one crime. It's already trendy. Activate. You must. It's this one right here. Activate. You must either suffer a stress or place an influence on a crime. Well, I guess I get stressed because there's already an influence on that crime. That's trendy. And I believe you can't. If it's already trendy, you can't place any more on it. Yep. So it's already full. It's got the full amount of influence. So I took a stress. Now let's see what's up next. I guess that's it. Yeah, okay. So draw a face. All right, now I draw a card. I get this one, strategic planning. It's in the counter card. Counter, it's cautious, and counter 2 dice, adding +1 if you control at least 2 tactics cards. And I do have 2 tactics cards, so this will go well. Let's see. Crime phase. Draw phase. Okay, I did that. Now onto the criminal turn. All right, what do we have? Activate. If Mickey's on his suspect card, he is not. He plays a gig. Otherwise, place 1 tape in a random location. Uh-oh. We got 013. O13 down there. All right. Then we have leaked signals. Leaked singles. Keep saying that. Activate. Place 1 influence on a crime. All right, well, I can't. Then each cop that has at least 1 trendy crime in their crime area, that's me, must either place a tape in a random location or suffer a stress. Ooh. Suffer a stress. That's going to put me at 4 stress, or I have to do the tape. All right, I'll do a tape. Tape goes at F1. Right up there. All right, now we got Mina. I got to roll dice. I got 3 dice I got to roll. And 3 successes, none critical. So we're good there. So I believe nothing happens there. Yep, nothing happens. All right, case phase. So what do we have to do with the case phase? If there's at least 1 hunch on this card. Hey, wait a minute. Didn't I put a hunch on that card? Oh, no, I think I just discarded it. I was supposed to put it on the card. I'll imagine there was one on it. Did I do it? Yeah, I think I discarded it. There's at least 1 hunch on this card. Discard 1 hunch to move clue token from this card to the active lead. Okay. Oh, wait a minute. What am I doing? Oh, I think I screwed up. Yeah, I put the hunch. I discarded the hunch and put it on the lead card instead. I'm supposed to put it up here, and then it gets moved over. I think that's what I think that's what I did. Screwed that up, but oh well. It's the same result. So we're fine there. But now I have to draw a case card. What do we got here? We got another event, Cryptic Message. A cop without a copy of Cryptic Message, and I don't have one, in their crime area must put this in their crime area. If unable, each cop must discard a hunch. If you gain the active lead, discard this card. Activate. Well, I don't do the activate yet. But what happens? Either suffer stress or replace one stress on Mina. I got a cryptic message. That would give me a stress. You got to figure it out. Let's see. Once I gain the active lead, I guess I figure out the cryptic message. So now, that's the end of that. Drawing a case card. End phase. Each cop flips their turn. All right, so that's the end of that. And now we're on to the cop turn. We're into the beginning of the next turn. You need anything? Or just
Yeah, just
okay.
getting a little bit of chicken.
Huh?
I'm getting a little bit of chicken.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
You have leftover chicken. You need to microwave it?
No, I'm just gonna eat it like this.
Oh, okay. There's plates over there. You can microwave or whatever you want to do.
Thank you.
There's, like I said, it's kind of scraps at this point, but there's leftover duck.
Oh yeah. Did you
You'll
get
you'll
any
find it in a Tupperware.
Okay.
I also have leftover pot roast, but no meat left. It's just potatoes. So, but sauce. So you can put it on. I have like a beef schnitzel if you want that.
Oh, nice.
Air fried.
Yeah, maybe I'll try a little bit of that duck. Thank you.
Okay. Where was I? I was at the beginning of the turn, right? I still have to do the dispatch where I pull a criminal card. What do we got here? Criminal deck. We have an event. Did I pull the right thing? Yeah, I did. All right, it's an event. Bootleg bandits. Each cop must either suffer a stress, great, or place one tape in a random location. Then if Mickey is on the board, which he is, each cop must either discard one hunch or suffer a stress. Well, I got plenty of hunches. Well, not plenty, but a few. Oh, do I want to put a stress or a tape? There's one tape left. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yep, there's one tape left. But I have 4 stress. I mean, I already have 3. But Mickey can get 4. Yeah, I'm gonna put the tape on. Let's see what happens. There we go. Let's see. Each cop must either suffer stress or place a tape in a random location. All right. The random location is J5, the Brook City Post Office. That's actually not bad for me. It's right over there because I might be heading over that way anyway. That's where that crime is. Bootleg bandits. What is this? Right there. Let me discard that. Okay. Fresh cards and okay, so I've done that. Now, all right, now it's my act phase, and now I can decide what I want to do. Now I can go after this crime long distance. I have the sniper training, which is an aggressive action, and I have a lead, which would help with that. So maybe I won't even be over there. Let's see. I need 4 progress more on that one. I can lower the resistance by 1. And the resistance is 1, so that'll be lowered to 0. All right, is there any tactics that'll help me with that? No. Damn. Gain 1 hunch. And then move. During each of your cautious encounters, gain a die. This is not cautious. Strategic planning. Find cover. So do I want to do this? This will give me 2 dice. No resistance. Need 4. I don't think it's going to take her down. All right, probably won't take her down, but I'll give it a shot. I'll use my lead. Use 2 dice. You know, feel free to rip it apart or whatever, or heat it up if you want it heated. Do you like it heated?
Yeah, that's what I was gonna do. Is this the microwave?
No, that's a convection toaster oven type of thing.
Oh, here it is.
Yeah, you're not putting that Popeyes thing in there, are you?
Just the
Oh, okay.
paper?
I was gonna say I thought it had foil in it.
Uh-oh.
I have. If you look in a little Tupperware thing, hold on here. I'll be right back. Do you want to throw some oil on that? Some duck. I got some duck fat if you want to keep it juicy.
Okay. Yeah,
But you
that
don't have to. I mean,
Oh,
it might
yeah.
be fine the way it is. But if you want to throw this on the duck, and
okay.
take as much of the duck as you want, because I got a whole of the duck. I got.
Like honestly, this should be good because I didn't even eat my sandwich.
Okay. Or you can use that and warm it up in that. Whatever you like, microwave or the toaster oven.
Yeah, well, yeah, I'll just do it in the microwave. Thank you.
All right, here we go. So I'm using this sniper card, which is if you're in a location, you may encounter any target on the board that's not in the same location. So I'm going after the crime person over there. I'm rolling 2 dice. Oh man, I may get her. I got 2 exploding dice. This is in the last encounter. Surprising. That means I rolled 2 more dice. Wow. Shocked. And another one. Jeez. All right. So this is 5 successes and a hunch. I think that took her out. I'm sniping at groupies over here. This guy, Mickey Scott, this freaking rock star who came into town, he's like kidnapped the mayor's daughter. I'm sniping his groupies from another location. It's like, I don't, who's the good guys here? Who's the good guys? I don't know. 5. And I used that lead, subtracted the resistance by 1. So the aggressive was 1, so that was 0. 1 progress, so I only needed to do 4. So yeah, I was successful, definitely. So what happens here? Well, first off, I had a hunch. I had this result. So I did get a hunch from that. Let's throw that down there. Bust. Either discard a stress or draw a lead. Well, I definitely need leads anyway. What's my next lead going to be? All right, I'll definitely discard a stress. Okay. And she should be off the board. And I don't need to go down there now. That was a card step. So I still have my move step. Play a card. Okay, yeah. Move step and action step. Action step. Well, first off, I definitely want to exhaust this. Any cop may discard a hunch. I would have used this had I realized it, but good thing I didn't. Because we used a hunch for nothing. Any cop may discard a hunch from this card. during an encounter. Yeah. Well, I did not do that. I should have. I'm going to put this new hunch on here. Exhaust. Gain one hunch right. And then if I use that. Okay, I got it. If you gain the active lead, so I want to do that. There's this cryptic message. If I gain the active lead, I can get that out of my crime area. The other thing is there's a lot of tapes on the board. Unless I go out of my way, I'm not going to get them. I can't play a card because I already did that. I have a good move card. I may move 5. Well, I could, let's see, card step. Play a card. All right, so the action step allows you to also do a move action. So I could move 6. So maybe I can get that lead and get to a tape. 1, 2, 3, 4. No. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Almost. No, I can exit. Ooh, I think I can do it. Wait a minute. 1, 2, 3. No, I can't because I gotta go over there. Son of a bitch. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2. Exit grab. 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3. I'm not gonna be able to do it unless I ditch the maybe I should do that. Ditch the police car. Just hurry to a location. Might do that. Get in the car. 1, 2, 3. Not a problem. All right, so I'll do the move step. Enter the car. 1, 2, 3. And I'm at the lead, so I'm going to pick up the lead. And that gives me this clue. So now we got 2 clues. Place 1 progress on a suspect. So now we have to pull another lead. Bank records. Ditch. Discard 1 influence from each card in your crime area. Which right now I have none. This goes on E5. This is in the bank. Liberty Bank is the oldest building in the city, going back over 100 years. While it has yet to be robbed successfully, the same can't be said about its digital accounts. Of course, accounts suspected of having ties to the syndicate have remained untouched. So, that is that. I've done 1 move, so now all I have left is the action step, which I'm thinking of also making a move. Well, maybe I should. Maybe I can just ditch the car from doing that. I don't need a move step for that. If I ditch the car, another thing I could do is I could go get a... Maybe I'll do that. Just move back to City Hall. I don't even have to ditch the cop car. I'll go back to City Hall. Put a hunch on that new lead. I'm gonna get Mickey's gonna get some influence though. 1, 2, I guess 3. And I'll exit the car. In the police department. Into City Hall. And put a hunch on the ransom note. All right, so that's the end of that. That's the end of everything for the act phase. You must enter or exit vehicle. Okay, crime phase. Activate each car in your crime area. Each card in your crime area left or right by resolving its activatable. All right, so all I have there is the cryptic message. Activate. Either suffer a stress or place one stress on Mina. Oh, I gotta get rid of this card. Which I do that by gaining the active lead. Wait a minute, didn't I just do that? Yeah, I just did that this turn. All right, I gained the active lead. Okay, so that one's done. If you gain the active lead, discard this card. All right, so I'm good there. That card should not be in there. All right, so I have no crime. My crime area is fine. So now I draw a card. It is a shared knowledge. Ooh, it's a tactic. Is this the one I already have? That's the one I already have. Okay. And let's see. That was that. Now is the criminal turn. So, hey, where's my Mickey Scott card? Oh, there it is. Mickey's still off doing his gig. I have yet to bust him. But I have to do this. If Mickey is on his suspect card, he plays a gig. Otherwise, place one tape in a random location, and boom, I have all the tapes are gone. So what happens there? What happens there? Well, it's not on that card. I know it involves putting an influence on him, but I want to see if there's anything else. When a tape would be placed on the board is taken from this card. A tape would be placed there, and there are none remaining on this card. Mickey gains an influence. All right, I got to get... So, they still remain on the board. So I still got to get rid of them. Oh, yeah. Cop near a tape may discard a hunch. All right, I got to start doing that. Activate. Place one influence on a crime. All right, so wait a minute. Okay, here we go. Activate. Place one influence on a crime. Can't do that. Then each cop that has at least one trending crime in their crime area, that's not me, must either place a tape in a random location or suffer a stress. Mina. Roll each... How many... There's 3 clue tokens. Is there 3? Oh, yeah, there's definitely 3. Because I screwed that up. Because I didn't screw it up. But there's only 3 because I have yet to prove the clue over to the lead. All right, so Mina is fine. No more stress on Mina this turn. All right, so now we do the case turn. And now you get this thing. If there's at least one hunch on the card, discard the hunch to move one clue token from this card to the active lead. Boom. All right. Okay. Now, did that draw phase? Draw and resolve a case card. It's an event. Potential lead. Each cop who controls one or more clue tokens, which I do, may discard one hunch to discard one stress from Mina. Okay, I'll do that. Each cop who controls no clue tokens suffers a stress. All right, done with that. End phase. All right, so we're done with that turn. Back to this turn. All right, I gotta get some tapes off the board. There's a lead I can grab. So I can find cover, which you may move 5. Then if you're in a location, you may place 1 progress on a target that is not in the same location. Interesting. 1, 2, 3, 4. Enter. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Maybe I'll do that. 1, 2, 3, 4. Shit, no, but then I gotta be in it. Ooh, this is tricky. I'd love to do this shared knowledge. No, not shared knowledge. Looking at this find cover. You may move 5, then if you're in a location, you may place 1 progress on a target that is not in the same location, because that'll get me over to that lead. But I have to enter the car in this card action. Let's see, this is the doing a play 1 card or draw 1 card. So I'm on the card step. So at the beginning of the card step, I'd have to enter the car, but I would also have to exit the car to be in a location. That's not what I want to do. Maybe I just want to do a normal move step and then use that. 1, 2. Yeah, maybe I'll do that. So I will use my move step. I will enter the car. I will go 1. Wait, where am I? It goes here. 1, 2, 3. I can't exit yet, unfortunately. But I can exit for this find cover. Find cover, I'm going to, you may move 5. So at the beginning of this, I'm going to exit the car. That puts me adjacent to the lead. Oh, but before I do that, I will use this this one here, since I'm going to take a new lead here. Ditch. Place 1 progress on a suspect. Or can I just keep that? What is this? Discard 1 from each card in your crime area. That might be okay. So I'm going to discard this. Might as well use it while I can. Place a progress on Mickey. So now I'm doing this find cover. Now I'm doing the find cover. Beginning of the phase, I will exit the vehicle. I will take control of the lead. Which means I get this clue token that was on the lead. And I get the actual bank records. Now, all right. So I still have 5 to move. So which of these tapes do I want to grab? That one's closer to the car. I can't get back in the car, unfortunately. I mean, I could, but then I can't get out of the car in the same step. So I'm going to go down here. 1, 2, 3. Whoops. On the right thing there. It's here. I went 1, 2, 3. And then, if you are in a location, which I am, you may place 1 progress on a target that is not in the same location. So, throw one on Mickey. If I bust him, if Mickey's on this card, influence. He loses 1 influence. That means take it off. This. Yeah, I'm pretty sure. Okay. All right. That is used. So I did a move. But I still want to use, I still want to deal with that. Deal with the tape. So, how does that work again? Cop near tape may discard 1 hunch during their turn to discard that tape from the board. All right, I will be doing that. So what have I done? I've done a move. I did a move step. I did a card step. Play 1 card or draw 1 card. Yes, I did. It was here. And I entered 1. Then I went out on the card step. 1 through. Okay. Yeah, so I still have an action step. So I can do a card action. But I'm not next to anybody. No, I did a card step. Play 1 card or draw 1 card. I played a card, so I'm at the action step. So I could do a card action. Or I could do another move. Could do another move. Could take a hunch. Could do an interact. So what was that interact? What was an interact? Activate. Swear to God, there was something with an interact on it. If a cop is near the active lead while Mina is attached to it. Okay. It's not coming up. So, I'm thinking a move. 1, 2. Yeah, because I can get that other tape out of there. So I will use a move. I will go 1. I will enter the vehicle. 2, 3. I will now discard yet another hunch. Pick that up. And I will exhaust this to gain another hunch. On a tactical. Okay, so that is my turn, I think. Yes, it is. All right, moving on. Crime phase. Activate each card in your crime area. I don't have one in my crime area. Oh, you know what I didn't do? I didn't draw a new lead. Need to draw a new lead. What do we got here? Q13. All right. Noteworthy guest at the Capitol Hotel ditch. Discard 1 influence from each card in your crime area. This place has hosted everyone from foreign dignitaries to rock stars like Mickey Scott. It's the nicest place to stay in the city and hosts the only casino in the country. Naturally, we watch it very closely and fight over who gets to go on the all expenses paid stakeouts. Okay, so that is the new lead. There's no clue on it yet. And I'll have to run back to City Hall and go down there and get rid of that. Pick up the lead. Okay, so I've done that. Crime phase again, nothing there. Draw a phase, I draw a new card. I get this. What is this? Determination. Ooh, it's a tactic card. You know, I love those tactics. During each of your encounters, you may suffer 1 stress to gain a +1 die. Gain 1 die. Prepared, discard 1 stress. You know, my normal card action is action. Just encounter 2 dice. Then if you resolve the then you may resolve the prepared effect on a tactic card you control. Can I just, I wonder if I can just do that action even if there's no encounter, and just encounter nothing. I'm gonna have to look that up. I don't think so. I would think you'd have to be able to encounter. Okay. In any case, where am I? I just pulled a new card, and I just put it in the wrong place. Great. All right. Draw phase. All right, now we move on to the criminal turn. Criminal turn. For the publicity tour, activate. If Mickey is on a suspect card, he plays a gig. Otherwise, place a tape in a random location. All right, well, there's a tape going to R10. Jeb's Bottle Shop. Went down here. Jeb's Bottle Shop. So that is definitely my next place I'm going. Pick up the lead. Got 2 tapes right there. First, I got to hit City Hall, though. All right, now we have leak signals. Activate. Place 1 influence on a crime. I don't have any. On a crime. Then each cop that has at least 1 trendy crime either places a tape or suffers a stress. I don't have any trendy crimes. Then we have to do Mina. Mina has 2 clues. Currently, she has no stress because I managed to discard that one. Whoops. Fell off. Ugh. This is what I got for 1 die. Got this result. And I got a success. Currently, she has no stress. They're not stressing her out too much. All right, now we have the case turn. And, right, that has nothing. But then, what do we have here? There is at least a hunch on this card. There is not. Discard 1, blah, blah, blah. Nothing. Nothing. So now I move on to the draw phase. I draw a case card. Here we go. Hot on the Trail. It's an event. Each cop who controls 1 or more clue tokens, that's me. Cop who controls 1 or more clue tokens must either discard a hunch or suffer a stress. Ooh. I guess I'll discard a hunch. I don't want to. I need to put a hunch at City Hall. I can still get one, though. But then I'm going to need to discard one to get rid of that. Ooh. All right, what is it? Either discard a hunch or suffer a stress. You know, I'm going to take the stress just in case. That will give me 3 stress. Got 3 stress over here now. But I'm keeping that hunch. In case I manage to make it down here, you know, by discarding my police vehicle. I think I'll be fine, but I just want to make sure. Each cop who controls no clue token suffers a stress. Well, forget about that. End phase. Okay, that's the end phase. Now we're going to have to draw. We're going to unexhaust this. We're going to draw a new crime card. Boom. Video shoot. So we got a new crime in progress, and it's at F2, the Gemini Arcade. Oh, that's right where I am. Okay. So well, I should take care of this while I can. I bust, I gain a hunch. That's it? I don't even know if it's worth it. Trend 3, activate. You must either suffer stress or place an influence on this card. And I believe if you can't place an influence token, let's see what happens. If crime is trendy crime cards cannot have influence placed on them equal to a trend value. Okay. Suffer stress or place one on this card. All right, I'm gonna do that, I guess, because I got this. Let's see. Cautious has a resistance of 1. Let me check out my tactics here, because I got this new tactic. During each of your encounters, you may suffer stress to gain a die. Well, I don't think I want to do that just yet. I think let's see. She's got 4. I could just use my normal action of cautious to roll 2 dice. And I gain a die for that, so I can roll 3 dice. I could use this and gain 4 dice. Although I could, if it's not enough, I can play this card right here. So maybe that's the better way to go. Play this. I'll have 2 dice, 3 dice, 4 dice. The resistance of 1. That's not. All right, so I'm not going to do that. Then you may resolve the prepared effect on a tactic card you control. Okay. So let's do it. So here's what's going on. I'm going to fight this criminal right here that just popped up now. I'm going to do it using my always prepared normal action that I can on a card, and it's roll 2 dice. But then I have a tactic of during each of your cautious encounters, gain a die. So that's 3 dice. Use a resistance to caution of 1. Jesus, I'm rolling like a god today. It's unbelievable. 2 exploding dice and a success. Jeez. Maybe I'll get rid of her in 1 shot. Oh, man. I almost feel like I'm cheating at this point. Well, that's 5 successes, and I get to roll another die. And a hunch. 5 successes, resistance of 1. 4, I bust her. I didn't think I'd be able to do another 1, but I did it. I feel like I'm cheating. Doing so well in these rolls. All right, I gain a hunch from this. Then, let's see, I bust her. So I gain a hunch for busting her. So I get another hunch. She's off the board. I took her off the board already. Then I get to resolve the prepared effect on a tactic card I control. So I can draw a card, or I can gain a hunch. I got a good amount of hunches. I'll draw another card. I get sniper training. This is an aggressive action, and I have aggressive encounter of 2 dice. If you're in a location, you may encounter any target on the board that is not in the same location. Well, I haven't even played a card yet, so I could actually play that and attack. Attack Mickey. All I need to do is do 2 damage to him. But he has a 2 resistance on aggressive. During each of your cautious, exhaust, gain a hunch movement. So I could take a hunch from shared knowledge. That would give me 3 dice. Alright, if I bust him, he's on the board. What happens? Otherwise, each cop made it. Mickey's on this card. How do you get him off the board? Bust. While Mickey's on this card, he can only be encountered by a cop near a tape. Oh, shit. I can encounter... Oh, but he has to be off the board. Bust. If Mickey's on this card, he loses 1 influence. Otherwise, each card may either discard 1 tape from the board or discard 1 stress. I don't get it. So when you bust him, does he go to his card? Maybe you'll explain it in this publicity tour. Place Mickey in a random location, then place tape in a random location. Discard lead. If Mickey's on his suspect card. So I'm not sure how he gets to his suspect card. I guess when you bust him. But suspects don't normally move when you bust them anyway. Huh. While Mickey's on this card, he can only be encountered by a cop. Well, I'm just, unless I see something, I'm going to assume when you bust him, he's going to go to his card. Because I don't see otherwise how. Because I believe the rules say about busting suspects, they stay where they are. When a suspect card is busted, remove all markers from that card after resolving its bust effect. Unless a bust effect says otherwise, busted cards are always discarded, except for suspect cards, which are only discarded if a specific game effect allows it. I would assume that's what happens. That if you bust Mickey Scott, he goes back to his card. Here it says it. After Mickey is encountered, move him to this card at Fabled. So, yeah, you don't even need to bust him when he goes to that card. All right, well, let's do that. Maybe. Right now. Let's do that. Because if I don't bust him, he moves to the card. And then he can play a gig, which means I don't have to put a tape out if I want to discard a lead. And I don't really need this lead. So that sounds like a plan. I'm going to snipe Mickey Scott from across the board. Oh, but I gotta be in a location. Shit. Well, I'll exit my vehicle. Alright, so what did I do so far? On this turn. Did I do anything on this turn yet? I attacked... Okay, so I'll exit the vehicle on the at the end of the card step. I'm going into the location. Now I'm doing sniper training. So I exited the vehicle at the end of the last step. Now I'm going to play this card, sniper training. It's going to encounter 2 dice aggressive. If you are in a location, you may encounter any targets on the board that is not in the same location. So that's going to be Mickey Scott, who's over there on the other side of the board. And I have practiced. I have something I can do here. Oh, yeah. I took away from the shared knowledge. I took a hunch from that. So I gain 1 hunch, and then moving any number of your hunches to this card. Any cop may discard 1 hunch from this card during encounter to gain a die. So I now have 3 dice. So here we go. Yeah, not particularly great. But the way I've been rolling, it was bound to come up. It's not terrible. I got 2 successes and 2 hunches. Let's see. It's an aggressive action. Ooh, he has a resistance of 2 on that. He has a resistance of 2. Wait a minute. After Mickey's encountered, so he'll go back there. He'll go back to the card, even if I don't bust him. He'll go back to that card. And if I want to bust him, which I might be able to do, let's see. I can play 2 hunches. Get 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, I could bust him using 2 hunches. If Mickey's on this card, he loses an influence. Damn. Too bad. Otherwise, each cop may either discard a tape from the board or discard 1 stress. All right, I'll do that. All right. So these go away. Take 2 hunches away. And what happens? I can discard a tape from the board or a stress. What is tape? This tape appears by itself. So let me get rid of that. And that is done with sniper training. So, still going to do this to take my hunch. I can move any number of those to that. I'm not going to do that yet. So what do I have left? I only have a move step left. I only have a move, correct? I could get in the car, ditch the car. No, I don't want to ditch the car yet, because I got to get over to City Hall. Of course, I could ditch it, go to City Hall. And then I'll be right there, and I can grab a new police car. All right, that makes sense. So at the end of that phase, the card step phase. No, I already exited the car in the card step phase. Right? Damn. Yeah, I left it to do that. So this is going to have to be the move step that I enter the car on. All right, so I'm going to ditch it. While driving your vehicle, move your figure to any Brook City location. 1, 2, 3. Yep, so I'm just going to ditch it. And head over to any Brook. While driving, move your figure to any Brook City location. All right, so I'm going to go into City Hall. And at City Hall, I'm going to discard one of my hunches to throw this clue onto the lead. And that will be the end of my act phase. Well, is it? I can ditch it any time. I entered the car. I ditched it. I actually didn't move at all. So I still think I can move 3. Because the ditch, I think you can do during your phase. Maybe I should look that up. Da 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 da. Nope. Just says lead ditch. Reveal random location. Well, under leads, it says each lead has a ditch effect that the controlling cop may resolve at any point during their turn. So, I assume that ditch concept works over towards other cards as well. Although I'm going to have to assume that. So I haven't moved yet, so I'm going to go 1, 2, 3. I'm now in the Brook City Police Department, and I can commandeer a vehicle. I can do that for free, though. I can do that in the next turn. All right, I'll wait in the next turn. You know, who knows what might pop up. All right, so that's the end of the act phase. Crime phase. I have no crime cards going on. So I do the draw phase. Draw 1 card. All right, another tactic. It's the same as practiced patience. I got another one of these. Yep. So now we move on to the criminal turn. All right, so the publicity tour activate. If Mickey is on his suspect card, which he is, he plays a gig. So that is place Mickey in a random location. Mickey's random location is J24, the Riverside Shopping Mall. Man, Mickey's playing freaking shopping malls now. Looks like we're doing some damage to his reputation. He's got to do the shopping malls. Ha ha, Ricky. Actually, I would have gone. I'm going to put myself there. That's would have made more sense. I can go to any location. I don't know why I put myself in the other place. All right, so that's that. All right, so place Mickey in a random location, then place a tape in a random location unless the cops discard a lead. And I have this lead and I can discard it. Discard 1 influence from each card in your crime area. Well, I haven't had a lot of that. So I'm just going to discard the lead. Okay, now we move on to leaked singles. Activate, place 1 influence on a crime, which I have none. Then each cop that has at least 1 trendy crime in their crime area must either place a tape in a random location or suffer stress. I have no trendy crimes. Wow, that's been pretty good. All right, so I only have one clue token now. Oops. This is what I got. So, good there. Mina does not get another stress. And now we do the case turn, which is there's no hunches on here. Wait a minute. Didn't I went up to City Hall. Oh, I did it again. I discarded. Okay, I discarded a clue token and I put it directly on here. And I wasn't supposed to do that again. So this would have been here. Actually, another die would have been rolled for Mina. Whoa. So let's see what happens. All right, we get another one of these results. So she's still fine. But now the hunch would have been that I would have put up there would be discarded, and this would go here. That's so confusing. They should have just made it the way I do it, because I don't know, makes it easier to follow. At least that's my opinion. Of course, it does add the extra die you have to roll for Mina. What do we have here? So now we draw a case card. We get an event, new leads and dead ends. I remember this one. Each cop who controls a lead. Oh, and I just threw my lead away. Gains a hunch. Each cop who does not control a lead must either discard a hunch or suffer a stress. I only have one hunch, and I have 3 stress. I will get a new hunch. Coming up on it, I'm almost thinking of taking a stress. Just so when I head down here, I got two of these I can take. All right, so, I'm going to take a stress. That'll put me at 4. All right, so I did the case turn. Yep. Now we are moving on. Back to a new turn. This gets unexhausted. We do a new criminal card. This is an event, casting call. Each cop must either place 1 influence on a riot card. Ah, damn it. Which I can't do that. Or suffer a stress. Another stress. Another stress. All right, well, that's 5. I'm putting this other heart on it. This stands for 5. It's a little bit of a different heart, if you can't tell. Oh, yeah, I didn't want that. If there are more than one tapes on leaked singles, which there are, place 1 tape in a random location. Damn. Whoops. What am I doing? Putting that in the wrong place. All right. So what do we got here? It goes into J2. J2. Okay. So now it is my turn. I want to get down here. I got 2 singles and a lead. So I'm going to commandeer vehicle. Can I commandeer here? Is the question. I wonder how that. I'm going to work up the rules for commandeering. Each cop may begin the game control vehicle, but may commandeer a new vehicle. Anytime a cop on foot moves into a street, they may choose to commandeer a vehicle. Cop commandeers a vehicle, they draw a card from the vehicle deck and control it, placing the vehicle card in their cop area, and placing the corresponding vehicle miniature in the nearest street or water area. Placing the vehicle card in their cop area, nearest street or water area. I think so. I think I can do that. Because you have to do it from a location. But you could theoretically, that's adjacent to it. I think you can. I'm not 100% sure, though. That's another thing I'm going to have to look up the rules on, just to be sure. I'm going to enter, so I'm commandeering this cop car. Boom. And actually, that's the Sprinter, if that matters. And now, let's see. The only move I can do is the regular move step stuff. So I will do a move step of 1. Should I keep going or get out? 2. 3. Because I'm almost can just go on foot over here. All right, where was I? I was here. 1. I'm going to exit. 2. Grab that leaked single. I just do that by discarding a hunch. All right, gonna discard a hunch. This goes back, and this is my 3rd move. Now I'm next to this lead. I'm gonna take control of the lead. And that's 4. And I take a new lead card. In which case you get A2. It goes on way up here. Way up here in some sort of park. Noble Hill Park. Witness statement. Ditch. Place 1 progress on a crime. Popular on weekends, the park often hosts family barbecues, charity events, and corporate events. Unfortunately, ever since the syndicate set foot in town, it's also begun hosting shadier activities. Even in daylight, they've got guts. I'll give them that. So evidently there's somebody who'll give you a witness statement over there up in the park. It's kind of far away from where I'm going. But I did a move. Got the active lead. Well, I'm going to have to go up there because, yeah, that's going to be where the last clue is. All right, so I did that. I want to play my card step, play 1 card. So I'm going to play this tactic card. So bring this into my hands. Not practice patience, already got one there. Determination, here we go. I did that. That's my card step. No. Yes. Action step. Card action. Play 1 card. Okay, yeah. It's card step. All right, so now I have the action step, which I can move again, and well, let's do this. Exhaust that. That'll give me another hunch, which I could use to grab. Move over here and grab another leaked single. And at that point, I'm so far away from my police car. I'm wondering if I should just commandeer another vehicle. Anyway, I will go 1, 2. Should I try and get close over and yeah, maybe I should. Maybe I should keep going. And then I can be there for that one. Or maybe I want to go back here and ignore that and just get up there for that last lead. I'm going to do that, I think. Because that's 1, 2, 3, and I can get in there in the next one. Okay, stick it out here. And I will lose a hunch. That was my last hunch. To gain that. And that was the action step. So now I do the crime phase. There's no cards in my crime area. So I do the draw phase, and I draw another card for myself. Follow through. I've not seen this yet, I don't think so. Encounter 2 dice, and it's a normal encounter, the first time I've seen that for Selena. Encounter 2 dice, then you may discard 1 hunch to place 1 progress on the target. Need to get some more hunches. Okay, draw phase. Criminal turn. Okay. If Mickey is on his suspect card, he is not. Otherwise, place a tape in a random location. Standard tape in random location. Here we go. F29. Tape in a random location. F29. Tape in a random location. Okay, there we go. Leaked singles. Activate. Place 1 influence on a crime. I have no crimes. Then each cop that has at least 1 trendy crime. That's not me. All right, so good. I'm moving on to Mina. All right, Mina's thing. Mina, there's only 1 clue left. So there's only 1 die rolled. So, boom, just a success. If it was a critical, I'd have to put a stress on her. But it was not. So now I move on to the case turn, which would be this, and which is basically if you have a hunch. Yep, you have a hunch, then you can move on the card. You can move it over to the active lead, a clue to the active lead. But I do not. So now I'm going to draw a case. Did I just put this in the wrong place? I did. Draw a new case card. Is an event. Another cryptic message. A cop without a copy of cryptic message in their crime area must put this in their crime area. So there you go. If you gain the active lead, discard this card. So I got to get that lead. Oh, wait a minute. I do have a lead. Wait a minute. Oh, but it's a cryptic message. Okay. Yeah. Where am I going? All right, that was the end. Back onto a new turn. We are at we unexhausted shared knowledge. Now we pull a crime card. What do we get here? Another crime in progress at R10 Jeb's Bottle Shop. Okay, is that correct? Because I already had one at Jeb's Bottle Shop. Or maybe that was something else. Maybe that was not a crime. Jeb's Bottle Shop, R10. Oh yeah, that was where I drew that lead. Well, I'm right there. So it looks like I'll be fighting her. Because she went right here where this leaked single was. Right there, ready for me to try and bust. So that changes things a little. Her bust is either discard one stress or draw a lead. Oh, that's good, because I got some stress I got to get rid of. Activate. You must either suffer one stress or place one influence on a crime, and the trend there is 1. So it makes sense to get rid of her, I think. I'm right in a good place to encounter her. It's the start of my act phase. And I can do my normal action to encounter her. What else we got here? Or I got this follow through. So now, what is her resistances? Her resistances are aggressive is 1, cautious is 1, normal is 2. This is a normal. Can let me discard 1 hunch to place 1 progress on the target. Strategic planning. Encounter 2, adding +1 if you control these. That's pretty good. So I can add a die for that. And during each of your cautious and gain 1. That's another N. So that I could roll 4 dice if I played this card. Let's see, or I could roll 2 or roll 3 with that. So obviously this is a good one to get. During each of your encounters, you may suffer a stress to gain a die. All right, let's see how many I need. How many successes do I need here? Ooh, she's at 5. And with a resistance of cautious of 1, that means I need 6 successes to bust her. So I may have to just go all out here. Strategic planning. I roll 2 dice, adding +1 if you control at least 2 tactic cards. I do. So that's 3 dice. And then due to this, that's 4 dice. And this one, I can add another die if I want to take another stress, which would give me 6 out of 10 stress. Ay, ay, ay. That would give me 6, which is kind of what I need. Wait, I think it would give me 6. 1, 2, 3. Oh, no, it wouldn't. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That would give me 5 dice. Ay, ay, ay. Maybe I should just do that first and see how that goes. And then decide whether I want to do the stress thing, because I don't think I'm going to nail her with playing that card, just that card. All right, so I'm going to do this first. And then depending on how that goes, we'll see what happens with the other one. So it's a 2 dice, the basic, plus I got practice patience, so that's 3 dice. Oh yeah, and I'm going to do this to grab a hunch. So I might need a hunch. Oh, wait a minute, I forgot about this. I can discard this hunch during an encounter for another die. Yeah, yeah. Okay, well, I'll exhaust this anyway, too. Do what I just did. But, you know, I think I'll do the follow-through. Not the follow-through, the strategic planning that I was planning on doing. You get 2 dice plus 1, that's 3. That, discarding that hunch, gives me 4. This one gives me 5. And this one gives me 6 if I take a stress. And I should be able to, hopefully, be able to defeat it with just this one card. But I don't know if going for 6 stress is a great idea. I gotta stop taking stresses. There we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay. Ah, man. And got some re-rolls to do because they fell to the floor. All right, what do we got here? We got 2 successes and an exploding so far. Ah, 2 hunches. Not what I wanted. Ay, ay, ay. But I do have the exploding. So take one away there. I'll have to remember that I have that one. Oh, that's good. Got another success. All right, so I got 1, 2, 3, and that one that I re-rolled. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right, I need one more to get her. So I discard this one hunch. That'll get rid of that one. That will bust her. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yep. She is busted. All right. So I get 2 hunches for these two. All right. She is busted. Discard. Either discard one stress or draw a lead. Definitely discard a stress. All right. Boom. Is that it? That was that one card. Yep. Okay. That's that. I am now. That was the card step. That was the card step. All right. So now I still have the move step and the action step. Move step, I'm moving back. 1, 2, 3. Entering my police cruiser. Ah! And I have the action step left. Which I guess I'm going to do a move. I'm going to head up there. Put a clue on that lead. That makes sense. 1, 2, 3. Then I'm going to exit the vehicle. Because remember, this is a different one. Because this is now my action step, not my move step. So I haven't done that in the action step. And then I am going to... Oh, I didn't even show what I did. I'm going to discard that hunch to put the... No, you don't discard the hunch. You put the hunch up here. But yeah, I moved up here. Basically, 1, 2, 3. And moved up there. So now what's going on? Moved 3. I am at... is that it? I did the card step. I did a move step. Yep, that's it. That's it. Crime phase. Got to deal with this cryptic message. If you gain the active lead, I did not discard this crime. Activate. Either suffer a stress or place 1 stress on Mina. I'm going to put a stress on Mina. I got enough stress. Draw phase. All right, draw a new card. I get this, whatever this is. Find cover. You may move 5. Then if you're in a location, you may place 1 progress on a target that is not in the same location. Boom. All right, draw phase. Criminal turn. All right, so I do the criminal stuff. Activate. If Mickey is on his suspect card, he's not. He plays a king. Otherwise, place 1 tape in a random location. Yep, as usual. And we got F12. Ooh, look at that. Right there. Right there. Okay. The leaked singles activate is place 1 influence on a crime. All right. That cryptic message is not a crime. That's a event. So I don't do that. Then each cop that has at least one trendy crime, I do not. All right, Mina has to do her thing. She has one clue still in the card. Roll one die for each clue on ransom notes. Ransom note. All right, what we got here? Got a success, which is not a critical. So we are good there. And we do the case turn. Case turn being we discard the hunch. Activate. If there's at least one hunch, which I just put on this card, discard it to move one clue token from this card to the active lead. One lead at times. All right, so I did that. Boom. All right. Now I draw a criminal card. Draw a criminal card. Every second counts. This is an event. Each cop must either discard a lead they control. And what is my lead? Discard one influence from each card in your crime area. I'll probably end up discarding that. Or place a stress on Mina. All right, I'm going to discard the lead. And that is the end of that turn. We now have beginning of a new turn. Shared knowledge gets unexhausted. And we take a criminal card. It's a new crime at the Fast Track Bus Depot on Q3. Trend is 3. Activate. You must either discard one hunch or place an influence on this card. Discard one tape from the board when you bust. When you bust it. So, I'm not going to be going after that for a bit. Although I am a sniper, you know. What do I have? I have, no, I don't have any good, I don't have any sniper cards right now. I have Find Cover, which will allow me to put one progress on it. You may move 5, and then put a progress. So that might be useful. Prepared, gain 1 hunch. So I've got the clue on that lead. That's the last clue I need. Once I do that, good. But I will, I'm right next to that other one. So I might as well take control of that. I need a hunch. I've got a hunch. All right, so I will do that. I will move 1. Oh, not on the right board here. I was here. I'm going to move 1. Pick up that leaked signal by discarding my last hunch. I have no hunches now. That was 1. 2. Wait, 1, 2, and then I'm going to enter the cruiser, and I could ditch the cruiser to hit that lead. And I think I will do that. I'm going to bust my ass over here, ditch the cruiser, get to the lead. Take control of the lead. lead is this witness statement. Place 1 progress on a crime. So with that, with the other one too. All right, so I did that. And what happens now? I've got all the leads. Let's see. While Mina is attached to a lead, when a cop would gain the active lead with a clue token. What happens now? Once during their turn. When cops control all clue tokens, I do. Discard the active lead. Yeah, but I took the active lead. Oh, whatever. Then attach Mina to the new active lead. I guess just attach Mina to the active lead. Mina is at the Quick Drink. No, it's at Connor's Pub. F24. She is down there. I am across the board. All right, so how does this work? Cops control the clue tokens, discard the active lead, then attach Mina to the new active card. Okay, so these are together. And I win. Let's see. If the cops control Mina, the cops win. Interact. If a cop is near the active lead while Mina's attached to it, that cop may discard any number of hunches to discard an equal number of stress from Mina. Then if Mina has no stress remaining on it, take control of it. So I just got to get over there. Currently discard 1 hunch. Because she has 1 stress on her. So I should be able to do this pretty easy. There's only 1 influence. Mickey only has 1 influence on him. There's 2 singles, so I can just kind of ignore everything else. I only move twice. I can move a 3rd time. And commandeer a vehicle. So, move a 3rd. Commandeer vehicle. What do we get here? We get a Claxton compensator. During each of your aggressive encounters while driving this vehicle, reduce the target's resistance by 1. Exhaust. While driving this vehicle, move 2. All right. What's it look like? Sheesh. Okay, looks like that. It's a convertible. All right, so I'm in this convertible here. Put that right there. Boom. Oh, I don't even have it there. I picked up the lead up here. Now I'm in this convertible. The new lead is over here. This is where Mina is, so that's where I got to get. And I did my move step. That was my move step. Now, the interesting thing here is I can exhaust the vehicle while driving it to move 2. So I'm definitely going to do that. 1, 2. And I got this. I can still do a I can still do a card action, card step, and action step. So for the card step of where you play a card, I have this find cover card, which is move 5. I could go down and get a... No, you can only commandeer 1 vehicle a turn. So I don't think I can get the police car in this turn. Too bad. So I'm going to move 5 with that. 1. All right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Then, if you are in a location, you may place 1 progress. Oh, if I'm in a location. All right, well, I'm not in a location. So I won't be doing that. So now I have the action step, which I can do a move action on. So I definitely will do that. 1, 2, 3. Still won't get me that lead, but should be able to do it in the next turn. All right, crime phase. Deal with all my cards in the crime area. Boom. All right, so activate either suffer 1 stress or place 1 stress on Mina. Oh, I forgot to exhaust this thing to get a hunch. Doop. Dope. All right, either suffer a stress or place 1 stress on Mina. Well, I'm about to end this, so I'll take the stress, 6. So that's 1 less hunch I have to deal with. And that's for cryptic message. Oh, wait a minute. I don't have to do anything. If you gain the active lead, which I did. Right? Yeah, I did. Discard this card. Okay, forget about that. We're good there. I don't even need to take that stress. But we still have to deal with this. Activate. You must either discard a hunch or place 1 influence on this card. I'll place the influence on it. I don't want that hunch. Right. That was the crime phase. Now I draw a card. Perfect Vantage. If you are in a location, you may either place 1 progress on each crime or place 3 on 1 crime. So now I will flip this over. Criminal turn. Activate. If Mickey is in his... He's not. Otherwise, place a tape in a random location. It is Q8. Q8. Tape goes in Q8. Man. And over here. There's like crime going on here, 2 tapes. This would be the place I'd go to if I wasn't about to finish the game. All right. Now we got leaked singles. Activate, place 1 influence on a crime. Boom. Then each cop that has at least 1 trendy crime. I don't, because that's a trend of 3. Alright, that is that. Now we do the case turn. And there's nothing more left with the case activate card. The ransom note. Alright, so that's done. But we do have to draw a case card. It's an event. New leads and dead ends. Each cop who controls a lead, which I do, gains a hunch. Oh, that's good. Each cop who does not control a lead must either discard a hunch or suffer stress. Nobody cares. Okay. That's the end of that turn and phase. Looks like I'm about to beat this. Unexhaust these. Should I try and take out... All I need is a move step. I can take out this criminal while I'm here. If you are in a location, you may either place 1 progress on each crime or place 3 progress on 1 crime. While driving this vehicle... Why was I thinking I could nail her in this? I don't think I can. Oh, I got the witness statement. That's right. So yeah, I could. But I have to be in a location, but that's fine. All right, so I'm going to do my move step. 1, 2. And I'm going to exit the vehicle. And just be all cocky about it. I'm not even going to go for Mina just yet. I will instead use Perfect Vantage. If you are in a location, you may either place 1 progress on each crime or place 3 progress on 1 crime. So, I will place 3 progress on boosting sales here, which is way down here. Because I have my vantage point. Basically, I'm sniping her again. But then I also have this lead. The witness statement, ditch. So I'll ditch this, place 1 progress on a crime. So there you go. It's 1 more progress on this one. So this one is busted. What happens bust? Discard 1 tape from the board. Busted. Mickey Scott. Discard 1 tape from the board. And I guess I'll get the one that she was next to. So I got that one. So what did I do? I did a move step and I did a card step. Was it a card step? Oh, wait a minute. This goes here. Card step. Play 1 card or draw. Yeah. So I still have the action step, which I don't even need because I will take control of this lead. What's the deal here? Cops control clue tokens. Attach me to the new active card. Oh, okay. I have this interact, isn't it? Is that what it is? Is it interact? Yeah. It's this interact. Interact is part of the action step, which is what I'm doing now. Interact. If a cop is near the active lead, which I am, while Mina's attached to it, which it is, that cop may discard any number of hunches up to discard an equal number of stress from Mina. So I have 1 hunch. Discard that to discard the stress. Then if Mina has no stress remaining on it, take control of it. Boom. Take control of Mina. If cops control Mina, the cops win. So I just won. I only ever got one influence on Mickey. Maybe I should start adding rivals to the game or something. Or maybe I'm just playing the easy ones. So I don't know. In any case, thank you for watching. And hopefully I'll probably I'm gonna play more of this game in the next few days. There's the I definitely want to do the 6th cycle, I guess, the 7 homage game, and I definitely want to do Velocity, which is the car chase one, which is a speed ripoff with a bus. You know, because there's no really good, despite this being a cop game, there's no good car chases. So I want to do that one. Oh, and there's also the Delta Keys, which has a whole sideboard, which I got to try. But as you can see, if you were watching this at all, I'm still kind of learning it. It's a little bit fiddly and trying to figure out all of like moving all the tokens around. But I'm getting the hang of it, hopefully. Anyway, thank you for watching. Anybody who might still be checking it out.